Hi, I'm Shahana Maji. I'm in Professor Greco's Physics 2211 class in the 9 a.m. And I'm here to talk about the public lecture called The Origins of the Universe and the Arrows of Time, or the Arrow of Time, by world-renowned physicist Sean Carroll from Caltech. I'm really glad that he took the time to come here to Georgia Tech and share some of his knowledge with us because it really left me thinking, which is awesome. Basically, what Carroll starts off with is what is time? And time is just a series of like labels on points in the universe. Much like space, it kind of lets us know where we are in the universe, which is cool. But unlike space, time only has one direction and it's forward. So there was a concept developed in the 1920s called the arrow of time, and it kind of qualifies this idea that time only has one direction. Some, I guess, aspects of the arrow of time could probably be like aging or memory or cause and effect. Now, the causality of the arrow of time is entropy, and I'm sure you've heard of entropy because I certainly have in every single one of my chemistry classes. It's basically the chaoticness, that's not a word, but chaos and messiness of stuff over time. And the second law of thermodynamics states that entropy, if left alone, always increases over time. So that's kind of been beaten into my brain, but I didn't really apply it to real world issues, not issues, but I mean aspects. So if you think about like coffee and creamer, if you like let alone, there's only kind of one arrangement that all the molecules are in. But if you're mixing the two together, there's a lot higher number of arrangements that can be possible and thus higher entropy. So because there are a lot more, I guess, instances of high entropy than there are instances of low entropy, entropy always goes from low to high and always increases over time. You shouldn't really confuse this with complexity because, say, if you took like water and oil, and at first they're separated, obviously, but if you mix them together, they become more like the mixture becomes more complex, but eventually it'll re-separate. However, entropy is still increasing over this entire time. It's not, although complexity is increasing and then decreasing, entropy is always increasing. It turns out that entropy has been increasing since 13.8 billion years ago, and that's also been beaten into my brain. 13.8 billion years ago was the Big Bang, the creation of our universe, so ever since then, entropy has always been increasing. So again, we probably shouldn't confuse that with complexity because a second after like the Big Bang, there was complete whiteness and everything's pretty simple then. And then with like the creation of galaxies, stars, etc., obviously things become more complex. And then apparently, I didn't know this, like in 10 to the 100 years into our future, like all the stars will be gone. It's just blackness and black holes, blackness, I don't know. And that's kind of pretty simple too. So although complexity is starting, although complexity is low, increasing and then going and then decreasing again, entropy is still always increasing. Anyways, that was kind of just a fun fact that he said that I thought was interesting. But what you should take away from that is that the universe is always increasing in entropy. And if you think about it, which of course I didn't because I don't think about these things, if you see a broken egg, you have to at some point you have to infer that at some point the egg was whole and unbroken, which is kind of interesting to think about. In 1985, this some dude named Boltzmann, I don't really know who he is, but he theorized that the multiverse was in high entropy and atoms like bumped into each other one like willy-nilly, and eventually I guess they like chose a state of low entropy, and that state is like what we currently are, like we as humans, we as the universe, like that's, I guess, it went from high entropy to low entropy, which is wrong because there's so many more ways that you can have high entropy than low entropy, like I was saying before. So, I mean, that theory is kind of illogical. The new theory, however, that Carol really wanted to emphasize here is that there is a parent universe. Okay, well, I guess I should start with this. If you like, time for us for this universe only goes forward, but if you go back in time far enough, it would propagate the other way. So there's another universe in which time is relative to us regressing, I guess. I drew a picture. The theory is that there's a parent universe that splits off into little baby universes, and those baby universes have their own, I guess, direction of time. So this is probably going to be the wrong way. Oh, no, I don't know physics, evidently. But if you have a parent universe here, a parent, I guess it's a universe, yeah, a parent universe here, it splits off into like little baby universes. So we might be this baby universe, and time might be going this way for going straight, like up for us. Whereas in this other baby universe, time relative to us is going down. But in their universe, I'm sure they think time is moving forward, just like we think their time is moving back, and vice versa. So, that was honestly the single coolest part of the entire lecture. I was kind of sad that it was towards the end, but I just thought that I have no idea how they could have found the evidence for this or who even theorized it, but I think it was really cool. I loved the idea of it. I love the idea of different universes because I don't know. There's like we always think about, is there life on different planets, but like, can you believe? I certainly can't believe that there's life on different universes. There's a universe in which time is, to me, going the other way. So I think that's really cool. And I'm really glad Sean Carroll, came to enlighten me, and I really hope you guys learned something from this video. Thank you.